Robert Wolthuis was born in Ogden's D Hospital in 1935. He was the All-American boy, easily recognized as a leader among his peers. He excelled both athletically and academically. When he attended Weber College, he played football and was actively involved on campus. But after returning from an LDS mission to the Netherlands, he was unsure of his future until a well-known professor helped shape his career.
Weber College had a great impact on my career. When I came home from my mission, I wanted to be a jet fighter pilot. I wanted to be a marriage counselor, and one time I wanted to be a dairy farmer. But at Weber, I ran into Dr. Dello Dayton, who in my opinion was as fine a classroom teacher as I've ever had. And he gave me a great love and appreciation for history, especially American history.
He completed a doctoral degree at Johns Hopkins University while working for Senator Wallace Bennett. His keen legislative skills allowed him to take on increasing responsibilities, often taking a pivotal role in shaping key legislation. After serving as Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense, he was appointed as a Special Assistant to the President of the United States, responsible for managing the legislative affairs on key issues between the White House and Congress.
I consider it probably the high mark of my career to have worked for President Ford. And there is a great deal of partisanship in Washington. It was then and there is now. And in fact, over the years, it's gotten much worse. But Ford was such a decent, good man, and I consider it an honor to have worked for him.
During the Carter administration, he was influential in formulating policy decisions on many significant national security and foreign policy issues. After the Republicans regained the White House in 1980, he was asked by Secretary of Defense Caspar Weinberger to devise and implement the Defense Department's new Humanitarian Assistance Program.
So Cap handed the study to my boss, and he handed it to me and said, implement it. They did not give me a staff, they did not give me a budget, they did not give me anything, but they said do it. And I had one of the grandest experiences of my life in begging, borrowing, and stealing personnel assets. And for the next 8 years, first I established that program, and then I administered it and built it. And it started out primarily as an effort to take humanitarian supplies to the Mujahideen in Afghanistan. And we channeled that material through the Pakistan Army, and then they took it uprange into Afghanistan. But over the years, I managed to find the ability to use DoD assets, DoD aircraft.
He built the Humanitarian Assistance Program and was responsible for directing billions of dollars in aid to developing countries around the globe. He traveled to 136 countries, delivering humanitarian supplies and meeting with senior government officials around the globe. On one occasion, he traveled to Albania, where he received a visit from Mother Teresa.
She heard that we were there, and she came out to the airport in her little Jeep. And she was only about 5 feet tall, as you probably had heard or seen. And I got acquainted with her, and she came up to me and said, Mr. Wolthuis, and through an interpreter, I'd like some of this stuff. She was such a powerful personality, she didn't really ask for it. She told me that she was going to take it. And we loaded up her Jeep, and then she climbed up in the 141 into the cockpit, into the cargo bay, and met the crew and blessed the crew, and then drove off with her food supplies for orphanage.
After 30 years of political appointments, he retired from public service in 1993. In 1998, he and his wife Carolyn were called upon to administer the Humanitarian Assistance Program in Eastern Europe for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, a program which used his expertise to affect many people.
It takes a Catholic Relief Services, LDS humanitarian organization, Feed the Children, dedicated people who have to come and deliver the food, the medical supplies, and so forth to make it work. And certainly one of the highlights of my career was to see how many dedicated people are working in the humanitarian business.
In reflecting upon his life, he has much to be thankful for, and his passions include his family and the country that he served.
So I guess if I were to sum up my passion, it would be life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness within my family and within the confines of the great gifts of the American government and the American nation.
We congratulate Dr. Robert Wolthuis, the 2006 recipient of the Weber State University Emeriti Alumni Lifetime Achievement Award, and recognize him for a lifetime of service to his country and to people in need around the globe.